I'm Stephen John Drew from the official GonnaGeek.com show, a weekly geek news podcast that is a part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other awesome geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 350 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, March 3rd, 2019. And the tentative title for this episode is Willie Got Words. Because if you were watching the pre-show, we learned that Willie has words about GTA.
No, I don't. Not about GTA.
Was it about Driver then? Did I misspeak?
Yes, it's about Driver. A certain someone on this show mentioned the game Driver, and I have some problems with that very first game. And my problem is the very beginning tutorial. That piece of shit. It's a timed tutorial, and if you don't finish it, you have to restart it. And they made it hard as balls. So just to get to the game, here's a fucking hard-ass thing to do. Get ready, kids, and buckle down.
Sorry, Snowflake. They didn't make it easy for you.
It's the intro, though.
No.
The intro.
Yeah, the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, no, I think I remember I had to do it like 3 times before I passed the tutorial. They're like, no, you actually have to learn how to drive this fucking car before we'll let you in the story. I thought it was hilarious.
That makes no sense. It was fucking stupid. And as a kid, me not being able to play is like, well, I guess this rental's just fucked now.
How much did you pay to rent that and not get past the tutorial?
I don't fucking remember. I was a little kid.
All right, so let me rephrase. Did you spend your hard-earned Willie allowance money on that, or did someone rent it for you?
I don't remember. I was a little fucking kid.
Well, I mean, this would dictate how shitty I would feel about it.
I'm sure probably someone else paid for it.
Well, then it's not your own money. Who gives a fuck?
I mean, I didn't have
kidding.
allowance. You think I got allowance?
1999. So I'd been in the Navy for 3 years when Driver came out.
I was possibly 14 years old, but I probably didn't. Wait, you were talking about the first Driver?
Yeah, first Driver was 1999.
Huh. I probably didn't play until 2000, probably. So I was probably about 14.
Yeah, it's about the same age as me.
Yeah, but yeah, just couldn't handle it. Oh, I guess I wasn't that young. Time flies by when you're me.
Yeah. I would have been 21, so that was when I had an apartment in Washington while I was in the Navy.
In the Navy?
You can
Yep.
sail the 7 seas.
In the Navy?
I sailed a couple of them. Didn't have time to do all 7, though. It's a big planet.
Aren't there more than 7 seas? Like, what dictates a sea?
I don't know. I
don't
mainly
know.
sailed the Pacific Ocean.
I hear it's pretty nice.
It's fucking big.
Well, I mean, it is the biggest ocean.
When you spend a month underway and you see nothing but water for 30 days, it is fucking mind-numbing how big the goddamn ocean is.
Yeah, I'm good on that. I think I think I would be claustrophobic in it.
I left the Navy in 2002. I haven't been back to the coast since. I'm still good without ever seeing water again.
This is why he moved to the landlocked area of the country. He's like, I don't see no water unless it's coming out of the sky.
I mean, you can move to North Carolina, right in the middle of the state. We got that much water.
We got nice lakes here in Idaho. I'm good with a lake. I can see the other side of the motherfucking lake.
Can we not talk about lakes? A lake tried to kill me one time.
A lake tried to kill you. Did it physically come alive and assault you?
No, I think his inability to swim tried to kill him. It just happened to happen at a lake.
Yeah, we talked about this before. No. It was like in, what was it, Creepshow 2 or 3? I can't remember. Yes, I'm going that damn deep. Where the lake comes alive, or something in the lake like eats people or something.
It's called The Raft. It was a Stephen King story in Creepshow 2, I believe.
I'm sorry, I didn't remember exactly which one it was.
It's like an oil slick monster that looks kind of like the Blob that attacks some kids when they try to swim out to a raft.
Well, they got to the raft.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, that one guy's like, yeah, I got there. I beat you. Oh, shit, a wave of it. Fuck me. Should have probably walked a little bit closer to the car.
Should have just kept fucking running when you hit the shore. You know, turn around and talk shit to a monster.
Where's the fun in that?
Stephen King not have anything to do with Creepshow 2 or 3?
No, him and George Romero worked on both of them, I believe.
I know he did something with this first one because he was in it too. Oh well. I just remember Cat's Eye. That was a great movie.
That was a good one.
Got James
Yeah,
Woods.
screenplay for Creepshow 2 was Stephen King and George A. Romero.
Interesting.
Yeah, neither one of them
sorry.
neither one of them directed it, but they were both based on Stephen King and George Romero stories.
Yeah, too bad both those were subpar.
Are you kidding? I love both those fucking movies. I own both on
Compared
DVD.
to the first one?
Well, no, the first one's always better. It's a sequel.
I mean, but
Sequels
it's an
are always
anthology.
inferior.
It's
Sequels
an
are always
anthology.
inferior.
It's not technically a sequel, and all the stories have nothing to do with anything else. They're self-contained.
It's got a 2 in the title. They put the good ones in the first one. That's how you
It's not
greenlight
even
the
the same
second
creeper in it. They changed
That is
up the
true.
creeper.
one. The
And
creeper
that third
changed.
one looks like a fucking made-for-TV thing.
Oh, the third one I don't even think counts.
You just said you son of a bitch.
No, the second one was Stephen King and George Romero. The third one, I don't think either one of them had anything to do with it.
Yeah, I watched them. It was.
Well,
don't
here you
watch
go.
them.
On the third one, screenplay, James Glenn Dundleson, Anna Clavel, Scott Frazel, Pablo C. Papano, Alex Ungolo. So instead of 2 geniuses, you get 5 random people writing the screenplay.
Those
That tells
weren't
you
the
all
real
you need to
names.
know. Those are the names listed on fucking
Those
Google,
aren't
man.
real names. Those are
Yep.
made-up fake names.
Alex Ugolo, Pablo C. Papano.
Wait,
They do sound like fake pseudonyms. They
what was
sound
that
like fake names.
first person you said?
James
last name?
Glenn Duddleson.
Or no, the first. Find the last one then. I think you said that one first.
The last one was Alex Ugolo.
Isn't that like the new flavor thing they found in the tongue? New flavor sensation?
You mean umami? Close enough.
Yeah,
Alex Umami, writer of Creepshow 3.
Oh, that's what's the director's name for all like the fake director when directors don't want to put their name on movies? They always use a certain name. I forget what that
Oh,
name is.
Willie Nelson.
I mean, I wish.
There is a specific one.
Yeah, a pseudonym. If they're like, yeah, let's just put this name on it, not mine.
Oh, Alan Smithy.
Yep, that's
Thank you,
it.
Sailor Poland.
Yep. I Googled it faster than he got it in the
Well,
chat
it
room.
was in the chat room before you said it.
Yeah, don't forget there's also a little bit of lag in the chat too. Not much.
It's
Thank
only
you,
like
Chris.
3 seconds right now.
That's more. That's more than direct than Bachman can hear me.
What?
That's probably true.
I've got to put
Bachman
everything.
doesn't listen to me anyway.
The problem is I got to put everything through my bullshit filter first, and that's slow.
I see. Yeah, that just slows things down. I took all the filters
I
off.
never bullshit you.
Never.
That's not true.
Listen here, you piece of shits. This
I-
is bullshit.
I rest my case.
Are you qualified or are you legally able to represent a law firm?
Monkey Quelch.
Gog Noggler.
Wow.
Listen, I think they're
Poland's
just
listing his fake credit names.
That's awesome.
listen here.
Ugh.
I think someone's trying to braise my beef here.
Now, see, Floppy Waffle, we know that one's a fake one.
Wait, what kind
But
of
the
beef
fact-
you got, Willie? I'm
Like,
hungry.
Mungie Quelch. That could actually be somebody's awful name. Like, that's bad.
No, just one of my friends put it on Facebook.
Pinchwump?
My dad used to know a guy whose name was Richard Dick. His last name was Dick, and he went by Dick. So
What?
he was Dick Dick.
What was his
He
middle
was
name?
I
Dick
don't know.
Squared.
He was Dick Squared. I don't know what his last name was. Or, excuse me, middle name.
Middle
His
name.
middle name was Taint.
Probably.
You tain't wrong there.
Richard
Listen.
Hats for everyone.
That's right.
Listen.
Richard
I've
Hats
told
all
you guys.
around.
My friends are addicted to the word taint. So don't get me started.
There's a morning radio show I listened to where one of the guys on the show's name was Taint. That's the nickname he was given, and he owns it.
Was his partner
Wow.
Gooch?
No, it was not. In fact, at one point in time, his personal website was taintisadumbass.com. It was pretty good branding.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna see if that website's still alive and running.
I don't know if it is. Let's find out.
That's why I'm doing it. You stop it. Taintisadumbass.com.
It cannot be reached.
Oh, well, never mind. I just finished Taint Is, and you just
No taint for you.
That's what you think.
I'm looking to see if willieasadumbass.com is available because we could just make that a landing page for the podcast.
Do it. I don't mind. Or Clueless Willie. Still haven't watched that movie yet. I just forget.
It's only been promised how long now?
I
how long?
forget. Fine. You in the audience, you give me a day and time, and I'll do it. I'll live
Today,
tweet it in.
after the show.
I can't today after the show. I gotta go play board games.
See? You're full of shit.
Willie, what
You're never
games are you
gonna
gonna
do
play?
it. You're never going to do it.
I don't know. We're thinking about the Game of Thrones board game.
So willieasadumbass.com is available for $12 a year.
It's not too bad.
There's also willieasadumbass.us.
Ooh.
Willieasadumbass.wtf.
I like that.
That costs $30. though.
WTFs, huh?
Yeah, that domain costs $30.
Are you saying I'm not worth $30 to you, Chris?
Did I say that?
I'm asking.
I'm saying that a dumb joke is not worth $30 to me. Remember, I've bought domains as jokes before. I used to own spiswrong.com just because.
And you let that lapse, you son of a bitch.
That one got a lot of traffic.
I mean,
SP is wrong.
what's some of the other ones I bought? I'm sitting on a couple for different podcast ideas that I don't have time to do.
Ooh,
So,
ooh. How about Where's Wings H's?
No one can find that site.
yeah, no one can.
Because it's silent. How do you type in a silent character?
There's willieasadumbass.business.
That seems so wrong.
Willieasadumbass.life.
If I could make a way to monetize my dumbness, that'd be awesome. Oh, wait, I'm here.
Willieasadumbass.tech or .world are also available. Oh,
It
there
takes
you
a lot of
go.
knowledge to be this dumb.
Willieasadumbass.republican.
Hey, I'm a centralist.
I'm just laughing at the fact that there's a Republican domain name now.
Although my leftist friends would say I'm on the right side, a conservative, and then my conservative family members would definitely say I'm on the leftist side. Like, you both are bastards. Not for that in particularly, though.
For other reasons?
Yeah, they're not wrong.
Or are they? I got nothing, I'm sorry. I got distracted trying to find funny domain names and I've completely lost my train of thought for now. Oops.
We're good at train wrecks. We're very good
well,
at train wrecks.
I've started to look at the credits in movies, and every now and then you just look up and you see, like, wait, that's someone's real name? They're not as fake as these, like Dibby Munt. But you get some weird ones where they have little print, like not in parentheses, in quotes for their middle, like their nickname, and you're like, wow, they really just put that on up there, didn't they? Okay. I can't remember any off the top of my head, but there have been some funny ones.
Have there?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Trying to have a clear, concise show.
Nobody knows.
The trouble. Oh, wait, is that under? I think it's under free, right? It's all right. It's been long enough. Oh, wait, no.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet. It's the news of the week.
Hey, sorry about that, Willie. You good there? You just got this sour look on your face.
No, it works. I appreciate it.
There was no way to transition, so we just
there was a
transitioned into the
way.
news of the week. It's that part of the
You still
show
wanna try.
where we run down what's in our minds some of the most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up in the past week. Hey, Willie, why don't you kick us off?
I forget what my. Oh yeah. Well, you know what?
Prepared.
This isn't news of this week because I'm going to start off with something different. I'm going to get back to my original, but yeah. I just remember myself like, is that copyright still or something? Or is that still is that free? the free what's it called? Free what now?
Fair use.
Fair use. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Chris.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, you know you can thank for fair use being pushed back for so many years.
Copyright
The one
holders.
company, the one company that is like paid for it to
Warner
be
Music.
Disney.
Uh,
They don't want their Mickey to go into fair use.
Mm-hmm.
well, I think
And it's
Mickey
getting
from
there.
Steamboat Willie will be in fair use in the next couple years.
Yeah, if maybe let's see if they push it back again. We don't know yet. I think
Disney
finally
does have
this
a
year.
lot of lawyers.
I think this year when this year started was the first time a new year been like got a fair use things has been in effect for a long time. But anyway, back to my original news. So I heard a rumor. That's a Umbrella Chronicle or Umbrella Academy. I keep fucking that up. Yeah, I heard a rumor that the woman that played Waller in Suicide Squad will be returning. Help me out with the name there, Bachman.
No, this time I'm going to leave it to you. Do it yourself.
And Amanda Waller, is that who we're talking about?
Yes, I meant the actress's
The
name.
actor's name. Interesting. This
Yeah,
is almost
the-
like we should have prepped for this.
But look at me, man. Do I look like I have anything in control?
So you're talking about
Even with
Viola
my life.
Davis?
Yes, that sounds familiar enough to sound right. Yes. There's a rumor that she will be returning for James Gunn's Suicide Squad, aka what we came up with, Suicider or Squadier.
Suicide or Squadier?
Yeah, let's go with that. But you know who will not be returning?
Two
For
Suicide,
sure.
two Squad.
Ooh, I do like that. I still say that it should have been called Three Fast, Three Furious, but they went with Tokyo Drift. I came up with that joke back in high school. You're welcome. Tip
Mhm.
of the hat. Think. But ooh, I just picture myself with a Mad Moxie little tiny top hat. Doop doop doop
It's a
doop.
pretty baller hat.
Thank you. I try. But yeah, Will Smith is not returning for sure. So
He's too busy being racist blueface.
How's that racist?
The Avatar Blue Cats. He's making fun of the Blue Cats, isn't he?
who's Blue Cats? What is Blue Cat? Am I being racist because I don't know?
No, it's a joke. Did you never see Avatar?
Oh,
You mean
okay.
Dances with Wolves in Space?
No, I mean Ferngully in space.
Actually, to tell you the truth,
No,
have
I mean
never seen
Apocalypse Now in space.
it. I really have never seen that movie.
Well, you're one of the only like 4 people on this fucking planet who hasn't.
You didn't miss out. It's boring.
Should I wear that like a badge of honor?
Yes.
No,
I have
It's
never
not
seen
worthwhile.
Avatar,
that's not a badge of honor.
but I have seen Avatar, The Last Airbender.
So have I now.
Yay! But oh, you finished it?
Yeah, I finished
Well,
Avatar.
we'll get into it later. We'll get into it later. No. But from what I hear, they might actually just be replacing Will Smith as Deadshot, which is actually kind of interesting. That would be a ballsy move by James Gunn.
The question is, who would you replace him with? Because Will Smith is a rather well-known actor. It'd be tough to
Yep.
be like, hey, I'm the new Will Smith.
Well, and then even though the character has been white in the comics and was white in the CW show, they couldn't go with a white actor because then people will lose their shit. So it's definitely got to be another black actor. Be like, you replaced Will Smith with a white guy. Fucking internet will explode.
Hold on a second. Now, this is a topic we should be talking. Why didn't I lead with this? Yeah, that's a good idea. Like, would people get upset by that? And why
Of
would
course
they
they
get upset?
would.
Why
Look at
would
where
they?
we live. People get upset
Because-
by everything.
Yeah,
Wait.
they would
Let
say
me
that
just take
they're
a look here.
they would say that they're whitewashing the role, even though
All right.
it's originally a white character in the comics.
All right, I'm just looking at you other guys' stories, see if I'm not stepping on my toes. I also want to talk about, since you guys brought it up too, I do not understand this hate that Captain Marvel is getting already. I don't understand. Like, what are they angry about? That it's a woman leading?
Willie, were you not around when Wonder Woman came out?
Yeah, I didn't understand it then either.
Yeah, this is the same bunch of fucking cowardly, misogynist, punk ass bitches that were afraid of a superhero movie with a woman back then are the same idiots now.
But why? Like, what are they upset by?
Because apparently, the 40 years they've been alive, having every movie star a white male hasn't been enough for them. That one movie starring a powerful woman is just enough to scare them back into their mom's fucking basement.
Here's the argument that gets made that I do not believe in, is they took slightly out of context an interview that Brie Larson did where it was some to the effect of that the movie is not just for white men, it's for all sorts of different people, blah, 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 and then spun it into the fact of, hey, this movie's teaching girls to hate men and things like that. It's the typical bullshit you see when it comes to a female-led effort, be it a movie, be it a video game, anything like that.
Now, all these man babies are sad that this chick is going to come in, kick the shit out of a galactic war, and then bitch slap Thanos after all their white male heroes lost.
Well, I mean, like, I love everything I've seen that I know of about Brie Larson. But I mean, why did you have to include that in the interview? Like,
she
why
did that because most of the people interviewing her are white males.
Okay,
that's why she brought it up.
What's that got to do with anything, though?
It was something to the fact that the movie is not specifically set for a gender or fucking race. It's a movie for everybody.
Are any of them?
Well, look at the history of film.
Well, I mean, like the Marvel movies. Like, are they really like these are for white males? Is like I don't know. I've never gotten that from
It's the same thing you saw with Star Wars and stuff too, where people got all bitchy and pissy because the main character is a woman who is incredibly powerful and things like that. So it's just people like, this is not what I remember. I remember when it was insert token white character name here or whatever. That's the greatest superhero ever or something like that. I don't understand the distaste that some people have here. I'm like, I think you're reading trouble into where there is no trouble. It's a movie about a female superhero. Yes, that doesn't mean it's some social justice warrior agenda like some people would have you believe. It's the whole same reason why like Rotten Tomatoes is no longer doing like pre-reviews of movies because they went and review bombed. I agree, they shouldn't. That's a separate thing.
That was stupid. Yeah. Why is that a thing? Why were you available to do that?
But all of these people that were like, oh, I don't like the agenda that's going on here, went and review bombed the movie and basically put comments to the effect of, we don't need SJW crap in our superhero movies and stuff like that.
Well, I agree with that. But I don't see it in this movie at all. I'm not seeing that. Where are they seeing this?
Do you know what superheroes are? They're social justice warriors. They're literally people that fight for social justice.
I meant in the context of the real world. And that's two separate things. These are real world social justice warriors. They're not fighting a homicidal maniac hell-bent on destroying half the world.
Just don't use the phrase I don't want. Don't use the phrase, I don't want social justice warriors in my comic book movies. You sound like a moron. Because there are people actually saying that shit online.
No, I'm saying I'm not seeing this in the Marvel movies at all. I'm not seeing any of this. Like, that they're saying they see. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's fucking movies.
Look,
go enjoy them.
Willie, people are seeing what they want to see so they can be pissed off and complain about it on the internet.
That's those assholes.
I don't disagree with you, but that's the problem you see going on with these things is most of the complaints that people have aren't legitimate, because how can you have a legitimate complaint about this movie yet when it's not out? All you've had is trailers and cast interviews. And if the trailer is something you don't like, fine, that's a valid criticism. That makes sense. You can be like, I don't like what I've seen in the trailer. I don't like how the CG is presented. That would be fine stuff if that was your argument. But the argument these people are giving is more along the lines of, she's a woman, I don't like Brie Larson, and stuff like that, which doesn't make sense because they don't like what she said in an interview when asked a personal opinion on something. Don't ask me to explain why the internet is so toxic on some subjects. I don't get it.
Because the majority of the internet is whiny, crybaby, middle-aged white guys like me.
No, I think there's also the part of the problem is you aren't held accountable for any of the crap you say online.
That's true.
Well, I mean, I'm the living proof of that because I'm going to say some more dumb shit here in a second. Just like this. Like, I don't agree that she should. Like, why was that brought up in the interview? I mean, also, I don't know the question that was asked.
She's an activist, too, is part of
so I don't know any of that. Like, why just bring that up? I mean, it's just like, who cares? Like, I don't fuck anyone's day up myself, so what the fuck do I care?
I'm trying to find what it was that she said.
I enjoy Sailor Poland's comment saying, I would like to point out there are A-list directors and actors who are known investigated pedophiles, but everyone is upset over a woman who is an activist, then people are truly evil.
Bryan Singer is still working, motherfuckers. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
anything about Brie Larson's opinion.
Yeah.
I believed Corey Feldman from day one, motherfuckers. Where were you guys at? Not you guys in particular. Where were you guys at?
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
He was always saying, champion, that there's these fucking weird ass motherfuckers in Hollywood.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he's been saying that for the longest time, and he's the reason why I actually think Michael Jackson didn't do any damn thing with any kids, because he said, yeah, out of all the people that would, Michael Jackson didn't. And I was like, Corey Feldman, like you would think he would, like, because he is not afraid to, like, I don't think his names has he. I don't know fully about that, but I know he did say Michael Jackson did nothing. But he's always been saying, yeah, this is a problem for the longest time. I've heard that for like over 10 years.
So let's go back to the comments. I found an article here. Again, let's also bear in mind this is an internet podcast, TV ripoff kind of thing. We're three white men talking about this, so we may not be the best experts to discuss this before you start sending your hate mail.
I am the best expert to discuss this.
AKA, let's mansplain it to you.
I'm not trying to mansplain, but I am going to an article on express.co.uk, which is going into detail. An interview last month, the Marvel newcomer, that being Brie Larson, said that she has noticed the press junkets for her movies are always overwhelmingly populated by white men, with women and writers of color not given the same opportunities. Indeed, there was even a study to back her up. When she said she wanted to help those less represented groups to get in on the action, her words were misinterpreted to mean that, quote, Brie Larson hates white men, end quote. This resulted in the film's Rotten Tomato audience anticipation score nosediving. She then did an interview with Fox 5 DC where she addressed the whole fuss. The interviewer mentioned that, quote, that headlines have misrepresented her. She said, it's hard for me to comment on that because I don't know what the headlines were or what was said or what I said or what people think I said. But she clarified, all I know is what I'm looking for is to bring more seats up to the table. Nobody's getting their chair taken away. She added, there's not less seats at the table, just more seats at the table.
Which, yeah, I think that's the basis for most of this whining complaining online, is that anything that's considered inclusion, people feel will be exclusionary to what was previously the main group, which has predominantly been white males.
I just don't get. It's fake manufactured outrage. It seems like to me. People read a BS headline or someone puts a BS headline out there. People get all pissed and blah 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 and start rambling about it. And it's inconsequential. It's not what they thought it was, and then they're just yelling at nobody. And then they're thinking that we have great power by going and review bombing this movie. Well, no, you don't. Go and look at the projected box office. Go and look at the ticket pre-sales. It's ahead of almost everything, including Black Panther in a lot of places. It's projecting higher than Venom did in China, and Venom did $102 million opening weekend.
And Venom was awful.
Yeah, and go and look.
It was all right.
And you've got different firms and stuff that research how hashtags are trending and things like that. Like the boycott Captain Marvel stuff, there is a very vocal minority talking about it, but it is not a large group of people out there talking about it. Yeah. It's like the same, for lack of a better term, small group of people that keep retweeting themselves, that keep getting magnified by being bullshit and just talking about stuff like this all the time. It's not as big as it is being portrayed, and it is shitty that she was put in that situation where her comments got misconstrued in such a way that people took off and thought that, oh, it just means Brie Larson hates white men and Captain Marvel's a movie that's going to teach girls to hate men. No, that's not at all what this is. Who cares if it's a female-led movie? I just want a good superhero movie, and that's what it looks like we're going to get. I don't care who the actor is.
Hold on a second. How is that going to teach little girls to hate men? The one thing I remember from the trailer is that Brie Larson punches an old lady, which is hilarious. Because it's an old lady.
At least in the new trailer, they explained that it's a scroll and a shape.
I don't care. I wish they didn't do that.
I thought it was amazing that in the first trailer, there was no explanation. She just hopped on a city bus and punched an old woman. Like, are you guys trying to make people hate this character? You got to run around punching the elderly with no explanation as to why.
I'm okay with it because it was just funny, like pop.
So Suncast has an interesting comment saying, I think that's the problem, and quite frankly, right now it feels like you're not allowed to have your own opinion. I
tell
disagree
my
to
opinion
an
regardless
extent.
if people want to hear it or not.
I think that's the problem we have, is then if you have people that have the opinion that we don't necessarily agree with, that seems like it's more magnified. I don't know how to express this correctly. Social media magnifies a lot of things, whether they're actually a real issue or not. In the Captain Marvel controversy, the Wonder Woman controversy, insert any other female-led movie here controversy that we've seen, gets magnified. It's not that they're not allowed to have their own opinion. It's they go about expressing it in ways that are not constructive to having a debate or a conversation. It comes off as either misogynistic or half-baked or something like that in a lot of cases. I'm totally fine with someone having an opinion I'm contrary to. Remember, Willie loves his PlayStation. I love my Xbox. We disagree on that. But we can have a debate about it, and we can shake hands afterwards and be like, hey, it was a fun conversation. And I don't take anything personally that's said there, and there's nothing that's said that crosses the line, for lack of a better term, where you start coming out and be like, oh, making big racist or sexist comments like you start to see on the internet.
Well, Willie still thinks Man of Steel is a good movie, but I don't call him a fucking hillbilly.
No, you do call me that.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with
it.
It has nothing to do with that opinion.
And at the end of the day, Chris, you may be Xbox, and I may be PlayStation, but we'll still go on to Smash Brothers, and I'll kick your ass.
That's true. I mean, but I think the problem is there's nothing wrong with people having different opinions. That's perfectly natural. It's how you present that different opinion and how you come off with describing your opinion. If you can have a reasonable conversation, no, we're not even talking about movies here. If you want, we can even apply politics connections here. If you look at politics Twitter, if you can have a reasonable conversation with someone, it's fine to disagree. But when all you're doing is parroting lines you've seen elsewhere that kind of perpetuate a myth or perpetuate facts that you haven't researched, then it doesn't help anything. And we see it in all sorts of things right now. And honestly, I enjoy social media. I enjoy Twitter in some regards because you can have interesting interaction with folks, but that's the downside to it, is it's an amplification chamber for stupidity at times. Like, one of the happiest things that happened to me this week, and I was going to talk about it when I'm into, but I can do it now, is on, Thursday, when they did the Nintendo Direct and they announced the new Pokemon game. I took a 10-minute break at work to take a walk because I needed a break, and I pulled up my Twitter while I was walking. And as I started scrolling through it, I was like, it is almost all Pokemon comments. I'm not seeing politics. I'm not seeing any of the other dumb, divisive things. It was like, holy crap, this is one of those moments where social media, where Twitter specifically, was awesome for me because it was a bunch of people that I follow or a bunch of people who retweeted stuff all about the excitement towards a Pokemon game, be it news, be it excitement, be it memes coming up about it. And I was like, this is where it is good. This is one of those things where it's positive. You get to have that feeling with a bunch of other fans versus other times where it just seems kind of toxic. I don't know what the right solution is to things other than to like curate your feed so that you're enjoying yourself. But the trade-off there is if you do that, then you're just looking at an echo chamber of your own views.
Yeah.
Now, I've always said I do have my own opinions, and I will tell people my opinions, but my opinions are not going to change the world. I don't want them to change the world. They're just my opinions, what I think should happen. But oh well, fuck it. I don't care.
Well, social media has gotten to the point where it's the whole Twitter is basically old man yells at cloud, and now it's become, if you don't agree with me why I'm yelling at the cloud, then not only are you wrong, but I hate you. Like, it's everything jumps to that point like almost instantly. People don't have discourse anymore. Very few people will have a back and forth on Twitter and have an actual conversation.
That's because they don't have the facts oftentimes to be able to have that back and forth.
Or
all they've done is read a headline on Facebook or on Twitter or on some clickbait site and be like, this is my opinion now, and have no fact to back it up. And we've all fallen down into that trap before, I'm sure, even on stupid things. Then you go, oh, crap. Like, I make a conscious effort now, if I'm going to talk about something that could be slightly divisive, make sure I've at least read beyond just the original source I saw it on so that I can double check that what I'm reading is A, not fake, and B, makes sense, and that I could also speak to why I feel a certain way about something. And listen, that could be anything.
Don't judge me for how I do things.
And plus, we live in a world where people want to win the argument. They don't want to have a discourse. They want to win.
No, the bigger problem is they don't necessarily want to win. They just want to get their name out there talking about those things. There's so many people who are like, I was the first to talk about this, and then such and such celebrity brought it up, and it was in their Twitter feed, blah, 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 blah. People aren't caring about the debate, the conversation. They're like, I'm going to become internet famous because I say something stupid, and insert actor name here talks about it and references my tweet. Maybe I'm cynical when it comes to that.
I mean, I understand it. I just don't understand. Like, come on, guys. It's a fucking Marvel movie. Get the fuck. just chill the fuck out.
These are the same people who are mad about Wonder Woman, Willie, and the same people that'll be mad about any other female-led movie. We can go back to Star Wars, like I mentioned too. There were so many people that were just blind with rage over the fact that Rey was the Jedi in the end, not Finn and not Poe Dameron or anything like that. That it was a woman. God forbid.
Well, and some of those were the same people that were angry that a black guy was a stormtrooper.
Well, I mean, I was surprised about that because aren't they all supposed to be clones? I didn't know too much.
Not for a long time. If you've actually read Star
I
Wars.
learned that afterwards. I was like, oh, I just thought they were all clones of that dude, and he wasn't white, was he?
There was a thought and a reasoning behind why you thought that, though, because you were thinking about cloning and things like that. You weren't thinking like some people did, a black dude is a stormtrooper. That just doesn't make sense. But they didn't think about why that didn't make sense.
Yep. Because a lot of those misogynists are also racist assholes.
Should have had a point. Whoa.
I doubt it.
No, I had a point. That's why I smiled and everything. I can't remember what it was now.
Sorry, did we derail you?
Yeah, that was my point. I have the unpopular opinion that Man of Steel is better than Wonder Woman. I had my problems with that movie, mostly because your Ares, your God of War, was that pasty old British dude. That's the final guy you got to fight? Really?
It's Professor Lupin. He's a god. Really? He doesn't have to look like he's powerful. If anything, the fact that Superman gets his strength from the sun, he should look like Christopher Reeves. He shouldn't look like the current Superman. I love the fact that the current Superman is fucking huge and buff and like he got giant for that role. Like he looks like a Greek god. But Superman doesn't need to look like that because his strength doesn't come from his fucking muscles. It comes from the sun.
But to be honest, you can't really tell that in his like rubberized suit though.
I don't know. That dude is fucking jacked.
Oh, I know. I'll give you that. When that's off, you can like, oh shit, that is chiseled like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that suit
adds
adds a little bit, but that's still that suit is filled. Like
no, I mean you can't tell the chiseledness like the
that ain't padding. That boy's big.
Yeah. But I mean, I do like I didn't have as many problems as you guys had. Man of Steel. I did have some problems with Wonder Woman. I mean, I still thought it was an alright movie. Not because it was female led and female directed or anything, not because of that at all. Hell, I love fucking Punisher Warzone. That was wasn't that like the first R-rated movie directed by a woman?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was the first, but it was definitely the first comic book R-rated movie directed by a woman.
I remember the first something about a woman director. I can't remember exactly what.
And it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
like, Alexander kicked ass. And it was bloody gruesome.
It was. I love the chance they took with that movie.
I saw something on, I think it was Twitter yesterday, where Lisa Simpson written on a chalkboard, if Ripley and fucking Sarah Connor came out now, y'all would be bitching that they were fucking Ray and Wonder Woman or something like that, something to that effect. It's like, yeah, y'all, people just have a fucking problem now with a female superhero. I mean, hell, there was people that had a problem with fucking Black Panther. Like, there's just people that are going to complain about anything. Because we don't listen to the George Carlin rules of the radio anymore. Every fucking device you own, everything in your house, everything in entertainment has an on and off button. Change the fucking channel. Watch something else. Read a different thing. Not everything is made for everybody, and it fucking shouldn't be.
Well, there's something George Carlin didn't account for, and that's internet trolls.
No, I just don't think he felt like ever dealing with them.
I mean...
He just
I don't
ignored
think he ever
those
had
idiots.
to deal with them.
They were around before he left us, but
they were called hecklers in my day.
Yeah, and he no one heckled George Carlin. He would destroy them. But no, it used to be that it's something. Like I'm not a fan of My Little Pony, but I don't spend all my time online complaining about it because it's not for me. Like I watched the new She-Ra just to check out the new show to see how it looked. I'm not a fan of that new art style, the way the animation's done by a lot of shows now. I'm not a fan of it. That show's also not made for me. But also, I watched the first 2-3 episodes. It's a well-made show. It's just not for me. I'm not going to spend time complaining about it, yelling that it's the worst fucking thing ever made. I'm going to go watch something that I like.
I don't have the energy to do that. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
apparently,
understand
too
how
many people do.
I don't understand how people have time to live their life and do other stuff and then do that also. No, that's making a generalization. I'm not going to do that. But
you know what my point is?
What's that?
There's some people that are fans of My Little Pony that probably shouldn't be.
Well,
I judge you.
There's weird fans of all sorts of fandoms.
Every
But it-
fandom's going to have people that you consider a weird fan potentially, but
But
that's
it's like, I thought it was
okay.
funny with Yoga Hosers. Kevin Smith made a movie for his daughter. He made a movie like for 12, 13-year-old girls. That was the point of the movie. I watched it. That movie is not for me. That movie was fucking weird. But you know what? I haven't spent an ounce of time complaining about it. I just look forward to his next movie. Like, there's people that spend their whole life, they seem to only get energized by hating something.
We're getting
And
a new
it's
Jay and
fucking
Silent Bob movie.
sad.
Yay!
Oh, I can't wait for
I don't know. I've made a concentrated effort in the past few years to just kind of cut off the negativity. If I don't like it, say something to that effect and then move on. It's not something you need to linger over. Like this puts us back down in that dangerous road of things. Like the people that are so mad about Star Wars, be it because of The Force Awakens or Last Jedi, because there's different viewpoints and all those, that all they can do is go online and complain about what Disney's done with Star Wars. Well, if you don't like it anymore, if you don't like what they've done, just stop watching. Watch the ones you like. Don't go out there and just spit bile over everything. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I
no one's
understand-
touched your childhood. It's still there.
Yeah, I understand being upset because it didn't live up to the expectations you may have had, something like that. But you can't just sit there and be like, I'm going to hate everything about this going forward because it didn't live up to my expectations. You're not being a fan there. You're not protecting the integrity of Star Wars or the integrity of whatever thing it is that something changed you don't like. You're just sounding like someone who can't adjust to the fact that things changed. And things change and you may not like it. Just accept it and move on and step back from it. I mean, to a lesser extent, I've done it with things like The Walking Dead. I stopped enjoying it. What I do, I just turned off the TV. And I said something to the effect of, I didn't like where they were going with things. I kind of got bored with it, and I quit. You don't see me going on Twitter and be like, The Walking Dead TV show is terrible. They should be doing more of what Kirkman did in the comics, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't help anything. That's not even
I just
like
keep reading the
cathartic.
comic.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead show is terrible because it's boring as fuck. At least when I quit it.
No, I said something to that effect on Twitter a couple of months ago. If you spend more than 50% of your time hating and complaining on a fandom, you're not a fan of that thing anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
You're just a fucking complainer.
Oh, I mean, I never read the comic either, so it's not like I'm coming that way.
I'm saying like specifically like Star Wars fans, where you have this giant group of people that literally spend all their time now complaining about something. They're not fans anymore. They still think they're Star Wars fans. That's the problem. They're not. They're just people that complain about shit. That's all they do.
I like the reaction that Stoolie J in the chat room had said, saying, I've learned to accept that Star Wars is shit now. I've taken my business elsewhere. That's it. I don't post Twitter threads about it. Most of the time, at least.
I completely disagree with him, but that's totally fine for him to have that opinion and go watch something else. Yeah,
that's the right approach to take. That's the right
nothing wrong
approach.
with that.
And you know what? We may or may not disagree on why we think something is shit, but that's fine. If you don't like it, say so, move on. And if you want to have a conversation with someone about it, that's fine too. But it's not like old man yelling at cloud like we need to see. I just miss civil discourse and intellectual debate or anything like that, instead of just, I'm going to yell my same point over and over again, even though people kind of say, why do you feel that? Or this seems to contradict what you've just said, and ignore that. I want honest conversation out of people.
Yeah, I think social media has made us all more connected and made our conversations way worse. We've lost a lot of the skill of having civil discourse.
And to bring it back in here a little bit, let's rein this in because we're going along with this. I back myself to a good topic here. I do.
We haven't got past the first news story.
Yeah, so let me rein this in a little bit. I do want to say that I do disagree with those fucking assholes that are doing this whole thing with the review bombing and all that. Fucking disagree with those assholes.
Well, I love now that they can't. That's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, but I will also say I don't like shifting the tilt all the way back to the other way either. That's not how you get things equal. You don't make things equal by making it go full tilt the other way for a while. No, you just make things fucking equal. Don't like swing, saying, well, you fuck all white, man. Like, just don't do this. Just make everything easy. Everyone's equal. There, just do that. Everyone's equal. Here on out. Fuck y'all.
Not possible.
I know, but still, everyone wants it their way. And I want it my way.
Well, this ain't Burger King, bitch.
Ooh, I like
This is
that.
McDonald's.
Burger
You
King.
get what we fucking give you.
I like that. Good one on you. So, Chris,
Yes, sir.
Next story.
Next story. All right. He has cued me on to go to the next story here. So
You got belled.
I got belled. I'll go with the next story here.
We got saved by the bell.
It is in regards to a gaming system that Willie actually has. This news was reported on Polygon, The Verge, and all sorts of sites. Sony has officially ended production on the PlayStation Vita as of March 2nd. The company announced that the platform's 2 remaining SKUs have been discontinued on the Vita's official product page. Now, we knew this was coming well in advance because a senior executive said last year that they would stop shipping devices this next year. They'd also stop making games for the Vita in 2015, and in 2018 ended the production of physical media games for the devices. And then in February, it was the last month that PlayStation Plus subscribers got free games for the Vita. So, the Vita has been slowly dying off. Now, supposedly there is a really good homebrew community that has been built up around it, but you can kind of see why Sony never actually announced official sales numbers, but third-party estimates have put that over 7 years, Sony sold somewhere between 10 to 15 million units. That's not a lot. That's not a lot of consoles, especially when at the time they were going up predominantly against the DS or the 3DS or whatnot, the Nintendo handhelds, and then of course cell phones getting into the market, and then the Switch comes on the scene 2 years ago and sells like gangbusters as well. So you can kind of see why Sony might have taken a step back from the Vita and realized, yeah, there's not much money to be had here for us anymore.
I will say, I do want to say one thing. Well, a couple things, but one, they're not just discontinuing Vita games for the PS Plus. They're also doing it for the PS3. There's no more free PS3 games for PS Plus as well.
I apologize. I forgot about that piece.
No. Well, it wasn't really relevant to the Vita exclusively, but you know what I mean. And also, there's something I've always heard about the Vita is that any Vita owner, there's a high attach rate to video games. Like, they buy games for the Vita. There's a high attach rate, like more than any other system from what I heard. Like, but I read this like a couple years ago, so take that back. You know, they own more games for the system than average, I guess is the way to say it better. That makes sense.
So, Willie, you had a PlayStation Vita. Did you have a bunch of games for it, or?
Oh yeah, I have a few. Most of them were digital, of course. And of course, a lot of them did come through PS Plus because it's a fantastical service that gives you the awesome games. But yeah, I had a bunch of games for it.
Did you enjoy playing it? Is there a reason why it kind of fell off to the wayside for you?
Why did it fall off to the wayside? That I'm not sure why I can tell you because that was a while back. I had my fun with it. I remember the last great game I got with it was that in 2014 when Freedom Wars came out.
Okay.
That was my favorite game for that system. Well, it was a tie for first because Uncharted Golden Abyss. That was an amazing game. You should look up YouTube footage of that game and tell me that does not look like a PS3 game.
Yeah, the hardware in that machine is incredible.
It is, the dual analog sticks. Oh, so good. But I just don't know why I stopped playing. I guess I went more toward the consoles. So I think the reason I played so much was because I was with the ex-wife and I was just trying to. Okay, you want the TV, so I'll just use my Vita over here.
It's a great use for the Switch now as well, I might add.
And so when that kind of started going its own way, I got more of the TV, so I was like, I'm just going to do the console. Playing some Last of Us online. Because, God, I loved that at the time. Ah, memories.
Do you need a moment?
I'm taking it right now.
That's good. That's good. Anthony, did you ever play the Vita? Was there ever anything that interested you?
See, I think the ex-wife had it. I think I took it on a road trip once with God of War.
Ooh,
and
good
it
choice.
was hard. It was kind of hard to see the screen in sunlight in a car while driving.
Well, I will say, are you talking about the PSP or PlayStation Vita? Those are two different handheld systems. The Vita never had a native game for God of War. PSP did. They had two of them. Chains of Olympus and
yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it might have been the PSP. It was. It was a while. It was like 10 years ago.
But you could also play PSP. I think the majority of PSP games on like if you could download it from the store and play.
Actually, yeah, I think I played PSP. I don't think I ever actually played a Vita.
Did it have a second analog stick or right analog stick?
I don't remember.
All right, that would be the outlier.
It was a drunken road trip to go gambling in Nevada. I don't remember much.
Well, I mean, you were playing before you got to the drunkenness.
Yeah, but the drunkenness wiped it away then.
Well,
wipe it
those
away.
short-term memories.
Well, so that wraps up my story. It was short. Let's move on to the final piece of the news of the week. Anthony, what do you got for us?
I saw a fun little tweet the other day from @LA Times ENT. Breaking in a ruling that could have widespread repercussions throughout the TV industry, Fox has been hit with a $178.7 million judgment in its profit participation dispute with the team behind Bones. So the arbitration apparently ruled that Fox owes the producers of Bones $178 million because of basically shady practices by the studio. Just different ways of accounting practices that studios like to do, or they show that like a movie or a TV series never made a profit, which also it leads to another story where this one could have big repercussions because the Walking Dead ones are still in effect, and there's lots of, I think there's 5 or 7 lawsuits going on with that one. Yeah, the producers of Bones have been told, like, the arbitration went through, and they do arbitration because most of the time now in contracts, studios put it that these types of lawsuits can't go to court. They have to go to arbitration first because they want to keep them out of court because court records are public and arbitration can remain private. And apparently the only reason this one became public was because after the arbitration, after Fox lost, Fox didn't pay up. So one of the people involved made the records public, said, hey, you fuckers lost, you owe us money. And so now Fox is saying that they'll pay part of it. What was it? 20th Century Fox said Wednesday it was seeking to void the punitive damages of $128 million, arguing that the arbitrator exceeded his powers. So the studios insist that it goes to arbitration and doesn't go to the court, and that it has to be decided by an arbitrator. Now the arbitrator, they're saying, exceeded his powers by ordering an extra $128 million. So the studio said it was contesting. The studio said it wasn't contesting the actual damages of $50 million. So this is basically the studio saying that whatever ad sales they sold, they claimed one price, sold them for another, and then the fucking executives at Fox pocketed the money.
Well, and then they sold it themselves effectively at one point too.
When they're running their own stuff, then they're selling it themselves and like giving themselves a larger cut of the profit than they deserve, and then telling the people who actually made the show, oh no, we only made X amount, and so you only get this amount. So apparently they've lost. That's going to go forward. More than likely, if they don't pay up, it'll probably go to court. And then now the big deal about this is apparently Bob Iger always throwing his hat in the ring, proving that he can fuck anything up. What was it? Disney chairman and CEO Bob Iger signaled his support for Rice and Walden on Wednesday, who are two of the executives involved in this that basically went into the arbitration and were found to just be completely and utterly full of shit. Is pretty much what the article brings it down to be. The arbitrator basically said every time they opened their mouth, it got worse for them. So they were just lying. He said, Peter Rice and Dana Walden are highly respected leaders in this industry, and we have complete confidence in their character integrity, which is what he has to say because those are two of the executives they're bringing from Fox over to Disney. So now we know there's at least 2 shady motherfuckers going from Fox to Disney that will have, their hands in the cookie jar. And of course, Disney had no involvement in the arbitration. We understand the decision is being challenged, and we'll leave it to the courts to decide the matter. So it's probably going to end up going in court. The far-reaching aspects of this one is that the biggest one that's ever happened was, where was it? It was the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where Disney was ordered to pay $319 million in profit participation that basically they pocketed and didn't pay the people who made the show. So Disney's already been caught doing this. Fox just got caught doing this. Both of those companies are now one and own pretty much all of Hulu. So all of those shows are going to be wondering if they're actually getting paid what they're worth. And the whole time, Frank Darabont is still suing AMC because AMC is still fucking basically disputing what the show made when it was the highest rated cable show in the history of cable ratings. So we know AMC made a ton of money on the show. And also AMC didn't partner with the studio, so they also produced the show, which let them pay themselves whatever amount they wanted to make each episode. And so that's where Darabont and now Kirkman and basically every other producer on the show has filed a lawsuit. Gail Ann Hurd, David Alpert, Charles Eagley, and Glenn Mazzara, and altogether there's the 5 different lawsuits. If they can prove, which is not easy, but if they can prove the AMC basically said, oh no, we're going to pay ourselves this, and so you guys only get this, then the combined total of all those lawsuits could end up being over $1 billion that these people would get paid by AMC if they're found at fault.
Wow.
So like it's crazy that these companies, like the fact that there could be that much of a difference in how much the show's making versus what they're paying these people. And it's one of those things where people are like, oh, it's not like they deserve that much money. The fucking studio got the money. That's the problem. It's not like fucking the studio's donating the money to charity. The studio got this money for selling ad space and producing the show. They had a contract to pay these people, most of them, a certain percentage of the show. And that's where they lie about the final budget and the final amount that the show makes so that percentage number becomes smaller. Because, you know, Kirkman gets money for every episode. Darren Bont was the director of the pilot. If you direct a pilot, you get paid for every episode of the show. So like Darren Botman now still gets $30,000 per episode as long as the show keeps going because he directed the pilot.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Directing a pilot of a TV show is one of the best things you can do other than writing the theme song. If you do the theme song, you get paid every time it's played. So yeah, it's the theme song and directing the pilot are like the 2 most prestigious things you can do for getting basically unending money coming in on checks. But yeah,
so I need to get on that.
Yeah, you need to direct a pilot or write a theme song.
I can write a theme song. I can do the theme song.
But yeah, so it was weird too because I tried to find the most updated article I could about the Walking Dead one, and there's nothing I've been able to find newer than the December 18th or December 2018 article talking about, you know, how all this has happened multiple times. So yeah, it was the AMC's Who Wants to Be a Billionaire was a big one, produced by Disney's Buena Vista. Other series to face similar lawsuits, The Bones one, Will and Grace, and WB Smallville. So this thing has happened multiple times where studios made tons of money on a show and decided to underpay the people actually making the show, and then had to be sued to actually pay the people that fucking made the show what they're worth. Which is fucking ridiculous. Executives sitting behind chairs, not doing any actual work, just raking in billions of dollars and being angry that the people who actually fucking make these shows want to get paid. Like, it's fucking crazy. But yeah, good for Bones, Dave Boreanaz, and Emily Deschanel. I hope they got a nice fat fucking check out of this.
I hope
because
everyone
Bones was
with it.
awesome. yeah. You'd hope, everybody that made this show got, you know, a good chunk of change. But yeah, the fact that it wasn't going to go public because it was settled through arbitration, and it was made public only because Fox decided not to pay. Like, really, Fox? That's your stance? Oh, no, we don't want to pay this money we were ordered to pay by arbitration that we forced through our own contracts because we don't want to go to court because court records are fucking public. Fuck you, Fox. Goddamn TV executives are awful.
I mean, is this a new thing?
No,
it's just gotten worse. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what ends up with like the 5 different lawsuits with the AMC one, because that one's crazy. Especially like Kirkman, the fact that Kirkman had to sue the studio. Like, you can argue TV whatever you want. Kirkman invented The Walking Dead. That is his comic book that everything in that show is based on. Every new idea that they came up in the writer's room that first season is all Kirkman and the writing crew. So he was involved in all of it. If he thinks he's not getting paid enough, there's the fucking problem. Because that's the guy who created the whole thing. Uh-oh. Is Chris getting serious? He's changed camera angles on
No,
us.
I was just about to transition us over to the network promo. It's that part of the show where we like to remind folks that the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is, in fact, part of a network of shows that you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. There's 20-plus different shows in the network that cover a variety of topics, be it video games, general geek culture. I can't even get into everything. We got a lot of television-specific stuff. Guys, there's tons of stuff. I can't tell you about everything, but what I can do is throw things to Willie Nelson, who's going to tell you about one specific show on the network that you should go check out. So, Willie, what do you got for us?
This week, I am talking about Game Life Balance Australia, episode 77, A Weird Alien Doofus. This week, the boys do something very on brand and review a Nintendo DS game. that's only available in Japan. Sega 3D Fukoku Archives 3 Final Stage. Ooh, it even had a colon in there. I like that. A sequel to the game known in the West as Sega 3D Classic Collections. It's a bunch of old Sega games that were given a 3D treatment. Also in this jaw-dropping episode, AC has been sick. No. And Rob has a fun new house guest. Ooh. And the quiz this week is a doozy. I do love quizzes. You know what I love? I love pub trivia. So I'm going to listen to that so I can get on that on that quiz and probably pass. Because I remember one of my pub trivias that he gave like a bunch of images of video game characters. You had to come up with the names. And guess who was on there? Yes, you guessed right. Soda Popinski, the Russian fighter in Punch-Out. Somehow I remembered his name. No idea why I remembered his name, but his name was Soda Popinski. I think it was like vodka or something in the original Japanese game, but they decided to change it for the kids. Back to you, Chris.
Why, thank you, Willie. So go check out Game Life Balance Australia and all the other shows in the network by heading on over to GonnaGeek.com and clicking on the network button. That being said, it is time for us to wrap this thing up. How we do that is a little bit called What I'm Into. These are a chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky or nerdy things we've been getting into so that maybe, just maybe, you'll check them out yourselves. I'll kick us off this week. Some of the stuff I've been getting into. I watched part 2 of the Orville's two-parter. Really enjoyed it. I don't know where they're going from here, but I think they might have used most of their special effects budget for the series in this one episode. So it was very interesting. Like I talked about in pre-show, I've been playing more of the Terry Crews Explosion Simulator game, aka Crackdown 3. While the game is flawed, it is sure fun just to go around a city and blow random things up, take vehicles, drive them off of cliffs to try and do stunt things. It's just fun. It's not a great game, but it's fun. So I don't feel bad that I spent the money on it. It's a great way to spend 10 or 15 minutes if you don't have a lot of time to play. Just go and blow some stuff up and enjoy it. And I did play the multiplayer.
Is there an actual story?
There is. I don't know what it is off the top of my head because I got distracted by blowing things up.
Wondered.
What's really cool in the multiplayer though is like the world is fully destructible. So like when you do like one of the capture the flags or like the land grab kind of things, you can capture a territory and then you can take your heavy weapons and blow up the building that holds said territory and things like that. So any damage you do, like the world falls apart around you. It's really kind of neat. Like walls that you blow up stay destroyed, floors that you blow up to try and escape something, the floor never regenerates. So you're in a fully destructible world in multiplayer, and that's a lot of fun.
It was like Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
Very similar.
Or better yet, Red Faction Guerrilla.
That could be it too.
Because that was the most fun I had. Like you could just take out, boom. You had a sledgehammer. You could just take out different walls and just watch the builders go, oh nope, structure integrity failed. Boom.
Yep, and that's very similar stuff in this. Other stuff I've been getting into. I'm really excited for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm Team Grookey all the way. I've decided. I also realized that we will.
Is that a word?
That's
Team
one of
what?
the new starter Pokemon. Is
Which one? Which one is that one?
That's
I didn't look at the
that's
names.
the grass type. It's the ape looking one.
How do you spell Grookey?
Grookey, I believe.
I might go for the water one.
Everyone loves the water one right now. But I did come to the realization that when a new full Pokemon game comes out that isn't Let's Go, I'm going to have 2 Switches in the house so that both of us can play. So I will probably be buying another
Sword
Switch.
and Shield.
Well, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
One of us will have Sword, the other will have Shield.
I want all you motherfuckers out there to look how the 1% lives. 2 Switches. Two Switches and both versions of the game. Thank you. Mic drop.
Okay, this makes a little more sense now. I'm seeing Grookey, Score Bunny, and Sobel.
Score Bunny. That's the dumbest one. I'm not going to go fire this one.
That's why I understand why Jessica Neri did her Nigri did her new cosplay. I'm like, what the fuck is a Score Bunny? I didn't know it was a Pokemon.
Well, it's a Playboy bunny that went over to the Score magazine or Score website. Is it a magazine?
I don't know.
I know it's a porn thing. I just don't know if it's a magazine or just a website.
It was almost a joke. It was almost a joke.
And I do
it's
see
half baked like me.
I do see in the chat room there's some comments on the new Detective Pikachu trailer where one person likes, one person doesn't. I'm intrigued by it. I want to go see Detective Pikachu still, and yeah, I'm totally on board with it. And the Mewtwo appearance in it was pretty cool. I was not expecting that.
Well, I'm sorry, Suncrest is wrong here because that trailer looks amazeballs.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to go see Detective Pikachu.
What are you
That's
talking
I'm-
about, man? It looks delightful.
I don't even care about the story. I just want to go see just the visualness of how like they just changed how much they look, and it just looks so good.
Yeah, it
Like the
looks
look of the
that.
Pokemon. Like look like some of them look like they're made of felt almost, and it's just like I just like the look of it.
It looks so fucking creepy.
And yes, when Mewtwo popped out, OMG motherfuckers.
That was the same reaction I had. I reacted much more positively to Detective Pikachu than I did X-Men Dark Phoenix trailer. Let's put it that way.
Well,
sorry, the what?
no one gives a shit about that movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
oh.
Gene's gonna go Dark Phoenix again, and once again we don't get the Shi'ar.
Oh,
once again
look
we
at
don't
this.
get a battle on the moon. What's the point?
Oh, look at this. Another white male, not like in a female-led superhero movie.
How did I put it on Twitter when I was talking about it with someone? I said it's really hard to get excited for a movie that they're just going to reboot like a few months after it comes out.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but honestly, I don't care about Sansa Stark as fucking Gene. It's like I don't give a shit. Like,
Oh, it's not her that I have the problem with. My problem is the whole Phoenix story. I don't give a fuck about the Phoenix storyline.
well, it's
Don't
been done.
care.
It's been redone like 7 times.
And they don't
And-
do it right anytime because I still don't know what the fuck the Phoenix is.
You should watch
Even
the
in comics.
animated series from the 90s. And it
I
will
did. I
explain
still
all.
don't fucking know. No,
It's
it
a
didn't.
cosmic entity.
That just wants to destroy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
its
it.
only purpose is to feed and destroy.
Great writing
like-
skills there, guys.
It's like Galactus. When you
Well-
make cosmic bad guys,
Well, hold on a second. I will argue Galactus thing because he needed to survive. He was eating to actual digest stuff, right? To live.
allegedly,
Phoenix,
the Phoenix destroys because that's what it does. That's what it
Phoenix,
was made to do.
I mean, it can die, but it just comes right back. It's the Phoenix,
Uh-huh.
blah, blah, blah. So who
Yep.
the fuck cares? You can defeat it. Oh, is it gone? I don't know. It's a fucking Phoenix. It will rise from the ashes again. Yeah, I already know how this is going to end. It's going to come back at some point in time.
Fair
Yep.
enough. The last thing I've been getting into is I've been watching Netflix and I'm on the treadmill at the gym or the elliptical, and I finally started watching a show that people have talked to me about before, but this is all David Tennant's fault that I've been doing. That is, I've been listening to his podcast, which is called David Tennant Does a Podcast With, and then whatever the guest name is that week.
I like it.
Nice.
He did an interview with Jodie Whittaker, and he did an interview with Olivia Colman. And in both of those podcasts,
Nice.
they talked a ton about Broadchurch. And my fiance has watched it and loves it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. And I pulled up the first episode while I was about halfway through my workout on the elliptical. And then when my hour ran out in the elliptical, I paused and I went, oh, I still got like 20 minutes of Broadchurch left because I'd started partway through. And I went, I guess I'm doing another 20 minutes on here because I'm finishing this damn episode. So,
Yeah, you know it's good TV that makes you add to your workout.
yeah, Broadchurch, I've really been enjoying. And like I said, it's one I'd heard really positive things about, but just hearing the experiences from on set and how much the actors all enjoyed doing it on David Tennant's podcast, it was delightful. And this is not a plug, but a recommendation. If you're looking for a really good podcast to listen to and you like one-on-one interviews, David Tennant Does a Podcast With has been really good. I think last week was Sir Ian McKellen. The week before that was John Hamm. He's had Jodie Whittaker and Olivia Colman on there. He's done some really interesting interviews, and it's a lot of it is folks that David Tennant has worked with, I think, is how they're able to set these things up. But I know he's got coming up Kristen Ritter and a few folks.
I was gonna
from the
say,
Marvel
I would like
thing.
to hear him talk with Kristen Ritter, where he played the most psycho role he's ever done.
And that is one of the ones they have said is coming up. I think most of these has been recorded already, and they're just dropping a new episode each week. The Ian McKellen episode was really good as well, and I've greatly enjoyed it. And it was interesting because in that one, David Tennant just asked a couple questions and basically had to lean back, and Ian McKellen just started going in like full storyteller mode.
Nice.
I think
Have
one
they
of-
worked together?
No, but he'd gone and seen him on Broadway, not Broadway. He'd seen him on stage and brought his son to go and see a show, and
Nice.
it was interesting. And I think one of the most interesting lines that Ian McKellen had in that was he goes, anyone could have been Gandalf. And a lot of people got really
Oh
mad
yeah,
about
just
it.
Just anyone. Just anyone could
I
have
could have
been
been
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
But he, the way he described it, he said that Gandalf was kind of one of his easier roles to do. So it's really interesting if you enjoy those one-on-one interview kind of things where people get into a lot of storytelling and adventures about their life and their actors you might be interested in. Really good podcast. I have really, really enjoyed it. And I just like David Tennant, so that probably helps too.
Oh heck yeah, he's so awesome.
I could have been Gandalf. I mean, it's just. I mean, he's right. Look at
Willie,
this.
Willie, let's hear your "You shall not pass."
You shall not pass. Now suck my taint.
I was gonna say it wasn't too bad, and then he went a little too far.
I'm pulling that clip out.
Please add an echo effect to it. If you do,
I will
Please do
try.
please do some post work.
Oh,
on it.
Do you want that to be the official Willie Nelson ringtone that we offer on our website?
Yes.
So that's what I've been getting into. I got distracted there. Anthony, what have you been getting into, sir?
Well, apparently downloading the David Tennant Talks To because it's on the app that I use, so I'll be getting all of those. Sweet.
It's really good.
My stupid computer that I was updating my iPod with has finally died. I haven't been able to turn it on in over 2 weeks, so I finally had to listen to my podcast on my phone, which has been no fun because all the podcasts I listen to are not all the one on the one app that I found that I like. So I don't want to have like 9 different fucking podcast apps. I just want to have iTunes on my
You
phone,
can
but
just
I
put
also
the RSS feed in any of those apps, and it'll import from there if it doesn't show up in their directory. Right?
I've just been using the one.
really
Yeah.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah. Podcast
Yeah.
Republic. Boom.
There's-
I just put the RSS. Done.
Yeah.
There's a couple I need to find, but I've been getting into Anthem,
Oh, no
and
shit.
lots of Anthem. I've been playing the fuck out of some Anthem this week.
Surprise.
Fuck all y'all for not playing with me. Everybody was supposed to play this game together, and now nobody's playing it. Nobody got it. What the?
You heard my.
I know,
You
I know.
agreed with me. Like,
I don't know if I agreed with you, but
I
you're
don't-
allowed to have your opinion.
I mean, it doesn't fit my play style. It's just
Yeah, no.
so you agree with me on that, right?
Yeah. I love it. It's funny because like there's so many people that are like already complaining there's not enough end game. It's been out for a fucking week. 1 week. And like Willie said, he's seen me online. I've played it almost every single night this week. I played it last weekend less than I probably would have because my buddy and his kids were here visiting for the weekend. So I didn't like crack out and do like 70 hours of it.
Isn't that
But-
the worst?
Yeah, it was fun. We watched Venom and had a pizza night. It was cool. I got to hang out with my nephews.
But you could have been playing Anthem.
But
You
yeah,
could have
so-
made your Venom Anthem.
Oh, I haven't made a Venom suit yet.
Sorry. They already have a Venom Anthem. Venom.
But fucking yeah, so been playing a lot of it, and I'm at like level 22, I think, out of the max cap of 30 right now. I just got I finished the actual main story last night, which not too bad. It took me all the way up to about level 20 before I finished the main story. I've still got some of the regular side quests to finish before I get up to the legendary contract stuff and all that. And then once I get to level 25 is when you start getting like the really good drops and start building up the super suits. But yeah, I got my your suit, adding on the items. It's like the Diablo score, or like the World of Warcraft, where you have to have the extra armor points to become get higher, and then you end up getting into tougher dungeons and stuff. And so like your suit goes from uncommon or common to uncommon to rare to epic. And so my Night Thrasher Ranger is now rare, and I'm moving towards epic. I got my first 2 epic guns on him last night. So I'm moving up and adding all the gear to it, and just get to level 30 before I build my other ones, my Storm, my Interceptor. I still haven't unlocked my Colossus. But yeah, I did a Ranger based on Night Thrasher from the New Warriors. I did a Storm build that's all fire based on Firestar from the New Warriors. So he's all yellow and red, which I think that one turned out pretty cool. And then I did an Interceptor build based on Speedball, the original Mass Marvel. Did him all in blue with a little yellow for the blonde highlights or the hair, and then some tan. And did a little bit of just running around and actually just exploring out in the world of Bastion with the Interceptor. And that suit is fun as hell to explore with just having the triple jump feature and the dodges and how fast that damn thing is. Running around and just exploring is just a blast. I think I meant to log in and try out the weapons on the Interceptor, for maybe 15, 20 minutes. I think I spent roughly 2 hours exploring in the free play before I left that mission and went and did something else. Like just running around in the world is just fun as hell. The game's gorgeous and I enjoy it. But yeah, like Willie said, if you're not into the grinding shooters and building up a thing, it's definitely not for some people. The storyline is good. Now that I've finished the main story, I'm trying to think if it's on par with KOTOR, because I never played the Mass Effects, but the KOTOR is where my level of BioWare stuff is. I think maybe the first KOTOR is a little bit better, but it's reasonably up there. Like the story was good. There's some great character development and actual stuff that happens with Halleck and Faye, and like the end fight is fucking crazy. The end story is really good. When you actually go through all the Legion of Dawn stuff, like it's pretty fantastic, and just it's fun as hell. The play controls on it, I love it. Fucking anybody that hasn't checked it out yet, if you missed the weekend, that sucks because the free weekend was awesome for anybody to try it out. But I definitely say it's worth playing if you like that type of shooters. And then I got a Kickstarter showed up in the mail. I got me the Action Verse Midnight Tiger #1 Stronger Part 1 showed up with the signed copy with the new Midnight Tiger action. And then awesomely, that one came with a Midnight Tiger t-shirt. So I got me some Gavin to wear now. Fucking Midnight Tiger's awesome. Ray Anthony Height, one of my favorite artists, is one of my favorite new creations of an original owned character in probably like the past 10 years. Just a really cool story of a fantastic kid who basically goes to help somebody out, ends up getting hurt, gets a blood transfusion from a superhero, and ends up with superpowers. And then decides, well, now I got to go be a superhero and fucking help people. And just, it's a really fun book, really good. And the new artist that took it over, Erica Van Elslande, is really good. Because I guess Ray Height's been a little busy working for Marvel. So not, like a lot of the Action Lab guys, they put out their creator-owned stuff and then they don't have time to go back to them because they move on to books like, The Unstoppable Wasp or Spider-Man or other stuff. So it's nice seeing the action. And was it Sean Isaacs that was doing Stray was the one that went on to do the first run of the new Champions with Jim Zub. So a lot of those artists from Action Lab are getting moved up to some really big books. It's been fun to see that. And then I watched some more Letterkenny that my buddy told me about, which that's the weirdest show on Hulu. This crazy Canadian hicks in a town of 5,000 people, and it's like Canadian hick deadpan English humor. It's so strange, but also so funny. Like, if you don't know whether or not you'll like it, which it's one of those weird shows where I can see where people might just hate it because it's so different. But like, watch the first 3 episodes. If you watch the first 3 episodes and you don't like it, then it's not for you. But they have, I think the 3rd episode is the softest birthday ever. And it's the weirdest like concept for like a show, but it was fucking hilarious. Like the whole thing, I loved it. It's just a great show. And then I finished Avatar, all 3 seasons of the Avatar Blu-ray that I won from what was it, Ivy 186? I can't remember his Twitter name. Damn it. But won the Blu-rays for all of Avatar and all of The Legend of Korra. Finished up Avatar, which I totally loved, and last night with dinner, I ended up finishing the last episode of season 1 of Korra, The Legend of Korra. And after like having so much dislike for Avatar and never giving it a chance and then giving it a chance and loving it, Korra's even fucking better. Like they even set their game up and made an even better show with like basically the grandkids from the kids from the first show. So I like that there's not a direct connection. Like the only character that's still alive is Katara, I believe. But you're dealing with the kids and the grandkids of Aang and all of his crew from the original Avatar series. And then this badass character, Korra, who by the time she was 5 could control 3 elements. And the first season is fucking awesome. You have a crazy character that is trying to start the equalist movement and basically hates benders. And like starts basically a civil war between benders and non-benders. That show is fantastic. Yeah, I just started ready to start. Book 2 is the Spirit World, I think. So 2 more seasons of that to go, and I'm looking forward to it because that show is fun as hell.
I have 2 questions for you for that.
Cartoons and Anthem, that's what I'm getting into. What's up, Willie?
So how'd you like that final fight between Aang and the Fire Lord?
That was some good shit. The fact like they were basically like blowing up and bitch slapping each other through an entire island, like that was some good stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, friggin' that, and then I really love the wrap up, the way they did the thing basically with Aang and Zuko. Like the end of that show was fucking so well done. Which, I mean, from what we've seen with all these different shows on television, one of the hardest things to do is write a good ending. Writing a good ending that nails down the world for your characters and gives you like a hopeful look of where they're going to go is a very tough thing for writers to do. And apparently these guys did it not once, but I'm hoping twice because they brought the world back with Korra, and it's the same world, just, like basically like 60 years later. And so I'm really excited to see what's going to happen moving forward when they get to the end of Korra to see how this ends, because the first ending was so good with Avatar that Like if Korra doesn't end well, I'm going to be very sad.
Now, before I get to my second question, I will have to say the whole Zuko, that whole storyline, fantastic. Like he starts out as a fucking evil ass motherfucker,
Yeah.
but then all of a sudden you see his reasons. Like, holy shit, he just wants to prove himself to his dad.
Yeah, it's like a good resurrection storyline. We're going to take what you think is a bad guy and show you why he's not.
And then my second question is, I mean, how'd you like the actual main character of the first Avatar series, and that is the cabbage seller?
My cabbages!
I laughed out loud when Cabbage Corp got nailed at the end of season 1 of Korra, when they got basically fraudulently put up as the company backing the evil bad guy, and the Cabbage Corp CEO gets arrested, and they tell him he's taking his company. Not my Cabbage Corp! The running cabbage joke through that show is goddamn amazing. Like, that's some community level shit. Like, that was good. Yeah, the fucking poor cabbage guy. Oh, what a hard life that dude has had.
Well, I mean, he started a whole corporation up, so I can't.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. During the 40 years of downtime, he ended up starting a corporation in Republic City and doing pretty well for himself, hopefully.
It's like 80, 90 years, hasn't it?
Well, no, because Katara's still alive, and
yeah, but I mean, she was like a little kid. Like, she was like a
that's
teen.
true. She is pretty old in the show, so maybe it's like 70 years in the future.
And who knows how long they live? I mean, hell, in the first season, you still have the Earth Kingdom guy still living.
Well, that's true. Boomer, yeah, he'd been around for 100 years, so they might. That's true. They might have extended lives on that planet.
Although
So,
he was probably exception to that because he was like one of the only ones still alive from Aang's time.
And he was batshit crazy.
Oh,
There's
I'm
something
sorry.
about crazy that makes it hard to kill.
I'm sorry, I mispronounced it. I should say it like M. Night Shyamalan should have done. Like yeah, from Ung's time. And Sokka.
Fucking M. Night Shyamalan, ding dong.
God,
I do love that he named one of his kids Boomer, though.
Oh wait, he did?
Yeah, the uncle.
Oh, I thought you meant like literally M. Night Shyamalan named one of his kids Boomer.
No, Aang in the show. Yeah,
say it right.
I am saying it right, Aang. When they introduce you find out that there's not just Aang didn't just have one kid, that there's 3 of them. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, because I got to the point where they introduced the sister and the brother, so you find out that Aang and Katara had 3 kids. Like, yeah, that show is so well done, and Korra's a freaking blast. Yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing that because yeah, it's been fantastic. That's a good show.
Were all 3 of their kids airbenders? I know the one was. I didn't watch too much of it to see the other
No,
2.
one of them is in the water tribe with Katara, so I believe she's a waterbender, and
Okay.
they don't. I don't think they showed Boomy use his powers, but I'm gonna guess if they named him Boomy, I'm gonna guess he's an Earthbender.
Okay. Just
Yeah, so they had one kid that was an Airbender, one that was a waterbender, but yeah, they showed him show up on the ship, and then like he took off. But I don't think during the fight with the spirit, I don't think they ever actually show him use any powers. But yeah, I would assume that he was an Earthbender, but I don't think I actually saw it yet. So he might not even be a bender.
Very nice. Willie, wrap us up. What have you been getting into, boss?
Well, first thing I'm going to say what I'm about to get into after the show is I'm probably going over to my friend's place where we're going to be playing some board games, and I'm a little saddened because we might play the Game of Thrones board game, and I'm sad about that for one reason, because I played it one time with them, and you're looking at the owner of the Iron Throne right here.
Very
the one and
nice.
done. I don't know if I want to play again because I'll lose and I lost the throne. I'm already king of it. So, yeah. So I'm a little sad about it.
Oh, so that's kind of like me. I've never lost a poker tournament in Jackpot, Nevada. I've won every tournament in Jackpot, Nevada I've ever played in.
Fair enough. Yep, that's
Because I
exactly
played
the
in
same.
one. So if I play again, it could cut my percentage down to 50% if I lose.
And what I've been getting into is Nino Kuni 2 still. I have finally beaten the main storyline, and now I'm doing the post-game content. And it is a lot of grinding. I see I'm going to have to start doing. But I think I've put in 87 hours into it
Damn.
in about the 2 weeks I've had it. So I put in a good work pay period time frame in it. So you can see how much I've been enjoying it.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm still going strong. 100 hours. Let's do this. But other than that, let's see. Been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Still enjoying that. I'm like midway through the second season now, and I think I saw somewhere that the 5th season ending has like a sad ending to it. I'm kind of curious how's that going to be sad because this show. I just saw someone saying they had tears during it or something. So
Those were happy tears. Those were happy tears, probably.
I don't want to know any spoilers.
That's all I was gonna say.
I wasn't saying you were. I'm just saying, like, even in the chat, don't you be assholes. And I was like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like, is there gonna be a character leaving? I wonder. Oh well.
We know
But
big
yeah.
spoilers will get your ass banned in our chat room.
And
Don't do it.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine just got renewed for season 7 and is up
Yeah.
1 million viewers compared to what it was on Fox.
Because Fox didn't know how to handle.
Evidently.
Wait, so the NBC one that was season 6, and now they're getting another season.
They've already greenlit it for season 7.
Good.
Nice, good for them.
And I guess the most important thing, I finally watched my copy of Creed that I've been having for the longest time. I just haven't watched it at all until last night.
Nice.
And do you know how many tears I shed while watching that movie?
All of
the
them.
first Creed?
Yeah, is the second one out on Blu-ray?
I think it
This
just
week,
went
I
on
think.
digital. Yeah, it's soon, but not yet. The
Yeah,
first one,
okay.
I don't know. Were there tears?
For me, full of tears.
Okay.
Full
I
of
remember-
tears.
I remember being emotional during the first one, but I don't think I cried. I
I
fucking
cried
cried.
in a lot of movies.
I cried in the fucking theater on the second one. That's how good the second one is. I cried in public, motherfucker.
I cried during Kick-Ass because
Yeah,
there's a part in the
I'm-
movie.
I'm a soulless sociopath. I'm a stone cold killer. I don't have emotions.
I just got
cried
mental
in
problems.
the theater.
I really had mental problems, and they were
just
all
cried.
in effect yesterday while watching that movie.
Why did Kick-Ass make you cry? What?
There was one scene that hit home so fucking close. Like, they nailed this.
Was it when he got stabbed and stripped of his clothes and left in the street?
No. It was as after like Big Daddy, like they were like trapped, to the chairs and the whole burning thing. Not that Nick Cage died. It was the fact that when he after they go back to the safe house where they were living, and he goes into the bathroom and he's like cleaning his face and he looks at the mirror and he smiles like, I'm just gonna fight through this. Yeah, I'm good. And he just looks and he goes, oh God, this hurts so much. He didn't say it, but you can just when I got this scar on my eye, oh, that was so much blood. I remember just going to the mirror and just looking, like, I got this. This ain't that bad. And then the same thing this happened before I saw this movie too, and I was like, oh my God, that was so fucking perfect. 'Cause that's exactly what I did, and I was like, oh, this fucking hurts. But then I went outside, and luckily it was snowing outside, so I grabbed some snow off top of the car and just put it right there because it was still bleeding. And I pulled it away, and I look, hey guys, look, cherry slushy. I just put it right back because it did look like a cherry slushy. I didn't taste it though. I don't like that. I don't like that much iron in my diet. I'm kidding. I love iron in my diet. I've been eating cereal so much. You know how much iron is in cereal?
A lot.
Enough that where it turns your poop green.
You've been eating too
Well.
much cereal.
Thanks.
If
Thanks
you
for
don't
the
believe me,
TMI.
that's a science experiment you can do for yourself. And you know how much I don't like this kind of humor. I'm not even doing a joke. This is just science.
Oh, well, this is Willie's Science Corner. It's all about green poop.
Eat a lot of cereal. Well, I'll say I did stick to the Captain Crunch and Fruity Pebbles because I'm a little kid when it comes to cereal choices. So do that.
Those
Now
aren't
see,
bad
Chris-
choices.
And I see Chris face palming, so take it away from me.
I don't even know how to come back from green poop, but what I'm going to try and do is say, hey guys,
Try
don't forget
it.
we stream this show live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, where Willie will hopefully not be talking about his poo next week.
Oh, I hope not too. I already regret telling the story.
That's okay.
God, why did I do that?
I
Fucking
don't know
idiot.
why you did it. But hey, don't forget, we'll be back next week. We'll be streaming more live content for you. You can find us over at atgnpodcast.com or gonnageek.com. And I don't think I'm missing anything. You guys have any final thoughts as we shut it down?
I'm ashamed of myself.
Oh, I think that's a new one. I don't think he's ever been ashamed of anything.
I don't think so either. But hey, on that
Shameful
note,
Willie.
while Willie's ashamed,
Ooh,
we're going to
new
shut
character.
things down and give him a chance to recover. Bye, guys.
Next week, Shameful Willie.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.